Is any religion evil? Now, a lot of the time we might think that yes, some religions are focused on evil, what we consider as evil, and what we see in the world as performing evil actions. So, of course, religions can be based off of evil. Now, a lot of people assume that Islam is based off of evil concepts, subjugation of women, um, a desire to convert everyone, an intolerance for people who don't believe in Islam. But I've read, quite a bit of the Quran, and it sounds a lot like the Bible. Now, when you expose yourself to different religions, when you expose yourself to different books, you start to see that there's a very large trend, a very good correlation for the same messages. A very interesting comparison is Christianity and Islam, but another comparison is maybe something two religions that seem very different: Hinduism and Islam. Despite Hinduism having many different gods, we believe that it's all part of the same one God, just different functions of the same one God. In fact, everything's part of this one God. Now, Muslims, they believe in just worshiping one God. They believe in just devoting all attention to one God and to not even have images of Muhammad or prophets in mosques or in homes most of the time. Now, this is very different from Hinduism, obviously, because we tend to have lots of images in our houses, many statues, and many pictures in general, and colorful regalia for these statues a lot of the time. Now, we don't think that these statues are literally God, and that's what a lot of the idea of idolatry is addressing, that you literally think a statue is God, but that simply isn't the case. Hindus, we don't believe that a statue itself is God. It's a part of God, it's a representation of God. We just don't believe that a statue is that God literally, and that's what a lot of talk about idolatry seems to try and imply about us. But, okay, so what similarity can I possibly see for Islam and Hinduism, my own religion, my own main source of and guiding star of spiritual knowledge about reality? There is both. There's a submission to God, the idea of a submission to God in both of these religions. What do I mean by that? And, it also exists in Christianity. I like to use an example that shows similarities between two seemingly different religions. Now, what I mean by submission to God is that we have to put aside our ego. Now, in Islam, there's not a word necessarily that discusses like ego, but the concept exists in Hinduism. But a submission to God is basically a submission to the higher power above oneself. So that's a very strong idea in Islam. That's why they kneel before God 5 times a day in a certain direction, because that is their levels of showing their submission to God and their acceptance of God's ways, of God's existence, and putting God above themselves. And in Hinduism, we like to get rid of ego. We like to read. We like to research. We like to meditate. We like to strip away the ego that most people cling to. This idea that everything should be mine, and I should protect my family, or just my family, just my people, those in my religion, just my country, just my state, whatever, and not worry about other people who are in other groups, which is very tribalistic, honestly. But that's what ego uses as a basis for its actions in this world. The basically the survival and self grandizing of that piece of ourselves that thrives off fear and desire. Now, getting rid of ego is very complicated, but a very effective way of doing it is, of course, praying before God, kneeling before God, submitting to God, putting the grander whole, the source, the all, that force which is a spirit beyond creation that is above all of our egos, before oneself. And that's incredibly similar to how Muslims believe in submission to God, in all the ways that they submit. And where it becomes dangerous for every religion, not just Islam or Hinduism or Christianity, is when you believe your submission to God, your acceptance of your code, basically is tearing down other people's code, or denouncing them, or even harming them because their code is different than yours. And a lot of people assume that this is what God wants, but I do not think that anybody's religious book completely condones violence in that way. Now, there's a lot of contradictions, and I realize that there are some quotes in many holy books that talk about violence and seemingly condone it, but I think that so much of what is written in different scriptures is metaphorical and is not meant to be taken literally with your own arms and bearing arms against your fellow men. I don't think men or women or even animals in this planet. I think that people interpret their religion, the religious texts, in the way that basically gratifies whatever they want to do in this world. That basically allows them to pursue whatever activity that they want to initiate in this world. Most of these people who commit violence in any religion, even like thereof, who use political ideology to try and back up their violent tendencies, they don't really care about the source of their beliefs or what they say is the source of their beliefs. They care about proving themselves right and inflicting their code onto other people. And now this is very different from the ideological core of most political systems and religious systems, now, but it seems so prevalent in this world. So we have to take a grander look, a vaster look at humanity, at ourselves, and think, why do we do the things that we do? Are we truly trying to follow our scriptures, our holy books, or do we care more about being proven right, or trying to prove others wrong, or trying to basically throw down others or even hurt others who don't believe like we do because of course we have to be right? And when we think that, that's the ego basically taking the reins of our body, of our life, and our being. That's really all I got to say about the different religions, if any of them are inherently evil. Now, there are some that seem to embrace evil, but even they, and they're not any of the major religions, but even they have a different understanding of evil at their core. They might seemingly willfully embrace Satan or something like that, but they, even in their own ideology, Satanists think that Satan is the freer of mankind, the one that frees one from the bonds that priests in society try to place on us, that embraces individuality and encourages us to embrace individuality, Satan. Now, I don't agree with Satanists, but even in their own philosophy, they understand evil in a different way. They believe it as individuality and true freedom for humanity. I don't believe that, but there are very few religions who are evil for evil's sake and not just understand evil in different ways, even when they seem to be evil. But yeah, I'm starting to ramble, but thank you very much for watching. I'll make more videos about this in the future, and this is basically has been a video about, can any religion be intrinsically evil, inherently evil? But I will be producing more videos like this in the future, and I will see you then.